In this tutorial, you're going to learn how to create a nested portal that can hold 3 layers of information like this. Hey, what is up everybody? Welcome to another FileMaker beginner tutorial. My name is Sunny Chu, and today we are going to work on a Q&A questions that is from one of my students in my course, FileMaker DIY Automator. So basically, he asked about how to create a nested portal for his own specific situation, but I thought this question is probably one of the more asked thing by a lot of people, so I want to make a quick tutorial to cover that part a little bit. So basically, this is what we are creating. Now, this is a 3-layer database with one category having multiple products, so one phone having multiple phone model in here, tablet, 3 models in here, and when I click onto product, each product has multiple color. So iPad, white and black, iPad mini, white and black as well, maybe MacBook Pro, it's only one color. The phone might have more choices, jet black and silver, rose gold silver. That's the basic concept behind it. So let's just quickly get into the database. So let's get into the database of this tutorial. If I open this exercise file that we're going to be working on, you'll notice that we have one layout here that doesn't make too much sense. So I think the first thing I want to do is to explain a little bit more about the background of how this exercise file is structured. Now, basically, I have 3 tables in this exercise file. So I have a category, product, and color here. And each category will have multiple products. So for example, a category might be a laptop, and a product of the category laptop might be MacBook Pro or just a MacBook Air. And then MacBook Pro can have different color as well. So that's the basic structure of how this is set up. And we have 3 tables in here. Now, if I go here and open up each of them in the table view, so we have the category in here, and we have the product in here, and then lastly we have the color in here. So it's basically like a 3-layer thing. Now, it's super important to note that if you don't understand relationship on a basic level, then this tutorial is probably not going to help you understand much at all. So in here we have a category phone having a primary key of number 1, and then on the other side we have a category foreign key in here that connects the category with the product. And then lastly, we also have another foreign key here, product ID, which connects this foreign ID with this primary key on the product side. So iPhone X has 1, 2, 3 colors to be chosen, and then iPhone S has 2 color. So it's linked up like this, 2 link up to 2, and this one link up to this one, which makes it a phone and an iPhone S, and then with 2 colors in here. So that's the basic setup of things. So I think I want to show you how to work on this multi-layer portal thing one step at a time. And I think the first thing I want to do is to just do one layer first. So phone, and we wanted to, when I choose phone, I want to show all the related phone inside this layout here. So let's quickly minimize this a little bit, and let's go into the database. So first thing I want to do is to set up the relationship. So I'm going to skip through this part quite quickly because I will assume you already know how this works. So what I want to do is to take the primary key of the category and connect it to the foreign key of the product table. So connect it like this, basic relationship stuff. And when I click OK, then I can then go into layout mode of this layout and then insert a portal here. So currently this layout is using the category table, and I'm inserting a portal of the product table in here. So let's have a quick look. So I can click OK, and then in the product portal I can choose to have the product name in here. So click OK. Now if I go to browse mode now, you'll notice when I'm choosing the laptop category, it will have MacBook Pro and MacBook Air. But when I switch to another category, tablet, it has iPad, iPad mini, and iPad Air. And iPhone, like this. Similar things, pretty straightforward, and yeah, this should be pretty straightforward. So the next thing I want to do is maybe I can fine-tune this a little bit. Instead of having to scroll through multiple records using this back and forth, maybe I can use a portal that is able to show the current table that I'm looking at. So I'm going to drag another portal in here. Now this feature is only available for FileMaker 17 or more. So what I want to do is category, I want to select the current table and click OK, and I want to select the category name in here. So click OK. So now I can choose between phone, tablet, and laptop, and it's structured pretty well. But this is probably the easier part of setting this up. Now, here is the real difficult part of setting up a multi-layer portal. Now, intuitively, you would think that what I need to do in the relationship setup is to do something like this. Connect the primary key with the foreign key again, click OK, and then drag and drop another portal here. But that's not exactly how it works, and I want to show you what's going to happen. So in here, I have created a new color portal and click OK. So you will notice that when I click onto phone, it will be able to connect to iPhone X and iPhone S. But on the color side, it shows both the iPhone X here and iPhone S in here. So it works on the basic level, but I cannot specifically limit it to, for example, when I click on iPhone S, then it only limits to showing the iPhone S color. And that's what we are trying to achieve in this tutorial. Now, the reason being is that if you use a portal inside using the category table, it will try to find all the different colors that is related to this category. But it doesn't change the result based on what product you're clicking on in a specific portal. So that's the reason why all these iPhone information is shown when we change the category, but it doesn't change when we click onto the product table in here. And so what we want to do next is to, let me just explain to you the way to tackle this problem. Now, let me get this out of the way first, is that FileMaker doesn't really have a super intuitive way to handle this problem. And this type of relationship setup is what most would think to do intuitively. But in this case, we want to trick the FileMaker software to behave the way we want, using a very weird method. But this method is used by a lot of professional developers, so it's definitely worth learning. So what we are going to do is that we are going to create a new global field in the category. So let's go into category. Let's just type in global __ global field. Let's just make a global field like this, so it's easy to identify that this is a global field. Click into this, make it a global storage, click OK. Now, what I want to do is I want to place that global field into a part of this layout. So let's place it here, change the color here. Now I'm doing this because I want to show you what's happening on the back end side of things. So basically, what I want to do is, now that I got this global field, I want to show you the different way of how we can connect this relationship to show a 3-layer portal. So instead of connecting it like top layer, middle layer, and lowest layer, we want to delete this connection. But this time, I want to use this global field to connect to the foreign key of the product ID. Now, normally you would connect this product key with this product key here, these two. But in this case, we are using this global field to act as if it's this one. It's a little bit difficult to understand, but I'll explain more in a bit. So click OK. And so what I want to show you is also to show you the back end of the product table. So you see in the product table, I have a primary key for product like this. So number 1 is iPhone X, number 2 is iPhone S, and then in tablet, iPad is number 3, 4, 5, laptop 6, 7, like this. So Since we have already connected the relationship using this global field, which is this thing here, and it's going to connect all the way to the color table, which is this portal here. Now, what I want to show you is that if I type in number 1 in here, it's going to show me all the iPhone X information here like this. If I type in 2 here, it's going to show me the iPhone S information. Now, if I type in number 3, it's going to show me the iPad information. Now, these information are obviously inside the tablet page in here. So essentially what I'm doing is that I'm tricking the FileMaker into thinking I have a relationship being connected to show these things. And that's the basic mechanics behind it. So I'm faking it to make it, for example, when I click onto this iPad product, I want to have some sort of script to automatically update this global field, to take this number 3 and paste it onto the global field here, so that it tricks FileMaker into showing the color option for number 3, which is iPad. So that's the goal that we are trying to work for. So what I want to do is I want to create some sort of button inside my product portal. So click here and let's just create an arrow key here, double click onto it, and well, let's use a script instead. So in here I have already created a grandchild, but let's delete the whole thing and create a new script instead. So what I want to do is that when I click onto this button here, so let's go back. When I click onto this button here, it's going to take this number 3 field and paste it into the global field. If I click this, it's going to take number 4 and paste it into the global field. So here what we want to do is that we know that this is called product ID from the product table. So click here, this script, what we want to call it, it's called select product to show its color, and we're going to use a set field script, which is going to change the global field and apply the value from this here, which is product and product ID. Click OK. Save this. Apply it into this button here. Perform a script. And then we are going to click onto select product to show its color. So let's see what's next. So if I go back to browse mode now and I try this. So if I click onto this button, it's going to switch it to number 4, and you can see the color is changing as well. If I click onto iPad Air, it changes to number 5, which tricked FileMaker into showing these different color. So that's the basic concept behind creating a 3-layer portal. Now, one very important thing is that when I switch into the phone category, you will notice that I'm now showing weird information. For example, I'm showing iPad X, iPhone S, but on this side, it's still stuck to the old color of the iPad, which is a tablet. Now that's because the global field is still number 5. So I want to set up another script to really make it so that it's able to, when I switch between records, it's able to automatically update to a more relevant product that is within this portal here. So what I want to do is to click onto the layout setup, script trigger, and I want to trigger the script on record load. That means when I switch between records, it's going to automatically run the script. So once I do that, when I switch between different records, so let's say right now I'm showing iPhone X information. Now if I go to tablet, it's going to automatically find the first record inside tablet and show that one instead. And that makes it pretty nice, and I can still like click onto this to show number 4 in here, number 5, but when I switch onto laptop, it shows a different thing. So that's the concept behind a 3-layer portal, and it's one of the things that FileMaker has a really hard time working on. And it's not super intuitive, but it's definitely worth learning, because there's a lot of application for this type of setup, and it can let you see a lot of information in like a bird's eye view very easily. So that's basically it for this tutorial. If you want to download the exercise file, it's just in the link in the description down below, along with other FileMaker beginner resources that you can find in my website. So that's basically it. If you have any questions, just leave it down there in the comment section below, and I will see you on the next tutorial.